Hello, my YouTube friend, Pop Comics here, and in today's video we're going to go over 101 comics of value that you want to be on the lookout for in dollar bins, garage sales, flea markets, antique malls, or anywhere else you can find comic books. Alright, let's get to this. Michael L. says, since you're taking comments for these videos, I want you to check out Batman Gotham Adventures. The Harley covers are expensive and a lot of the series has high prices. Hope you mention it next time. Well, alright, let's go through some Batman Adventures stuff. This is going to be fun. Okay, we have Comic Scenes Magazine number 31. This had a little story about the Batman Adventures show. So it has an image of Harley in it. So this is kind of like the very first printed version of Harley. And it seems to be going for about $100. Then we have the Batman Almost Got Him kids book that came with a cassette. The book loose, if it's kind of beat up, will go 40-50 bucks. If it's kind of minty, it goes for over $200. I would love to find a complete one that has the original backer card, complete with the cassette. That one went for over $400. So this predates Batman Adventures number 12. So this is like her first comic appearance, but it's not really a comic book, but still very in demand. Of course, we have Batman Adventures number 12, the first appearance of Harley in comic books. You know, a very fine copy is going to go for $300, $400, $500. Definitely look out for this one, but most people know about this one, so this is going to be a hard one to find. But I did find my own copy years ago for 50 cents, and I had another copy that I bought for like 50 bucks that I traded away years ago. Next, we have the Batman Adventures Mad Love series. A really fun comic book. I love the cover. It sells for about $30 to $74, so definitely keep your eye out for that one. There's also a second print to Mad Love that's more of like a trade paperback than a comic book. And it has a beautiful cover. I love this Bruce Timm cover. This one also has a third print. So I think both the second and the third print go for like $30 to $80, kind of depending on the condition. So just look out for this cover. It definitely has value. Then we have Batman Adventures Annual number 1, another Harley cover. This one goes for like 20 to 30 bucks. Okay, then we have Batman Adventures, the holiday special. This is supposed to be a really good storyline. This one looks like it goes for like 25 to 50 bucks. I did see one that went for even more, but definitely a comic of value. We have Batman Adventures number 28. This one I saw a couple lower sales, so this one's probably like a $10 to $15 value comic. We have the Batman Harley Quinn trade paperback. This is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in the main DC universe, so this is definitely a major key for her. This one looked like it was going from like as low as 50 up to 100, but there's even a $300 printing. So I think if it's a really high grade, it'll be worth a ton. Then we have Batman number 570. This is Harley's second appearance in the main DC universe. This one goes for like 10 to 20, maybe 50 if it's in really high grade. Then we have Harley Quinn number 1, her first issue in her own series. Very cool key issue to find. This one is worth like 30 to 50. Honestly, every time I see a Harley Quinn issue from this run in like a dollar bin, I will grab it because all the issues are worth at least 5 to 10 bucks a piece. Then we have Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Really cool issue with Harley in it. This one goes for like 26 to 60-ish. Honestly, a lot of the early Batman Beyond issues are also worth value. If you guys want me to do a segment on the Batman Beyond issues next week, let me know in the comments below. We have Gotham Girls number 3. This issue is like $15 to $40, it looks like. But this whole series, every single issue, I think is worth at least 10 bucks. So every time I see Gotham Girls for like a buck, it doesn't matter if it's the Harley issue or any of the issues, I'll pick up any that I see for a cheap price. Then we have Batman Gotham Adventures number 10, another fun Harley cover. This one's maybe like $12 to $20 in value. Then we have Batman Gotham Adventures number 14, a fun Harley cover. This one I did see a couple cheaper, $5, $10, but I also saw some like $20 ones. So I'm guessing it's at least like a $10 issue. Okay, we have Batman Gotham Adventures number 29, another fun Harley cover. I like that Poison Ivy's on the cover as well. Very cool issue. It goes for like 13 to 20. I did see one cheaper one in a little bit lower grade, but still I think you'll get at least $10 out of it. Batman Gotham Adventures number 45. I love this cover. This is an awesome cover. It's like a $10 to $25 comic. Then we have Batman Gotham Adventures number 50. Just a gorgeous cover. It looked like most of the issues are going for like 17 to 20. I did see a dollar sale. My advice is if you get a comic of value, eBay auctions don't work very well anymore. Not like they used to. So, you know, if you're going to do an auction, start it low enough that's like a little bit enticing. If you see it going for 15, maybe start it at 10, maybe 12. So that maybe you'll get some bid up. But for the most part, honestly, if I got this issue, it was in good shape, I'd probably put it up for like $15 to $17, and it would sell relatively quick. If you do an auction at $1, there's a chance that it'll sell for only $1. Batman Gotham Adventures number 53. I don't know if Harley's in this issue, but it's just a really fun Poison Ivy cover. This one goes for like 10 to 15 bucks. Okay, and then we have Batman Adventures number 3. This is the second Batman Adventures series. This one goes for like $10 to $25. Love the cover. And then we have Batman Adventures number 16, the wedding issue. This is a cool key issue. It goes on the low end, $10. On the high end, it was best offer under $89. I'm not sure how far under, but definitely an issue that has some value. Then we have Gotham City Sirens number 1. This whole series, anytime I see them cheap, I pick them up because I think every single issue in the series is worth at least $5 to $10. But number 1 definitely goes for like $40 to $90. There's also a second print with a red cover that you want to look out for. I only saw one sale, was best offer under $175, so I don't know how far under, but it looks like the second print's rarer and probably more valuable than the first print. There's also a really beautiful variant cover to number 1. This one's probably gonna be hard to find, so I doubt you'll find it in a dollar bin. But if you see this cover and it's cheap somewhere for like $5, pick it up, because this one's definitely worth over a couple $100. Beautiful cover. Then we have Back Issue Magazine number 99, a beautiful Bruce Timm cover. I think this one just came out a few years ago. Looks like it goes for like 10 to 30 bucks. Honestly, I would buy it just because it's an awesome cover. I love the Bruce Timm covers. Then we have Batgirl Adventures number 1. Love this Bruce Timm cover. It has Harley and Poison Ivy in the background. Awesome cover. Goes for like 50 bucks up to 175 for a newsstand. Definitely a comic of value. Okay, so that was all the Harley stuff. Let me show you a couple more Batman Adventure related comic books that I just think have great covers that have some value. Okay, we have the Batman and Robin Adventures number 1 annual. This is a sequel to the Batman Mask of the Phantasm cartoon. So this is kind of like an interesting story continuation. It goes for like 10 to 40 bucks. I did see a dollar sale. Again, I wouldn't list anything at a dollar auction because a lot of times they just go under value. If you want to sell it quick, just list it for a little bit under what you see. Like these are going for like 13 to 15. If you put this up for 13 bucks, it probably would sell real quick. And if you don't mind waiting a little bit, put it up for 20 bucks and maybe wait a little while and eventually find a buyer that'll pay a little bit more. Okay, next we have Batman and Robin Adventures number 21. Just a really fun Batgirl cover. This one goes for like 10 up to 50 bucks. I think it really depends on the condition. Then we have Batman Adventures number 10 from the second series. Absolutely love this Catwoman cover. Only saw one that sold for $12, so I don't know how solid that price is, but if you see it for like a buck or two, it's probably worth picking up just for the beautiful cover. And if you want to sell it, list it for 10, 12 bucks. I think you'll eventually be able to sell it because there's not a lot of them for sale at the moment. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over was the Teen Titans Go comics from the early 2000s. They're almost 20 years old now, I believe. And usually when things get about 20 years old, the nostalgia really starts kind of kicking in on them. So I think a lot of the key issues from that series have a lot of value potential. So the whole series is kind of a spec for me. I pick them up every time I see them, especially because I love the series back then. I thought it was a great cartoon. But I figure for now, we'll go through the key issues that have value. Okay, so Teen Titans Go number 23. This is the first appearance of Red X. I think this issue has a lot of potential. If Red X ever has like a bigger movie or a bigger story in like Titans or something like that, I think this is an issue that could really explode in value. But either way, this is a cool issue to own, and if you see it cheap, you pick it up. But honestly, I wouldn't mind buying a high grade one for like $100 just to own it. I think I have it in my collection already, but if you don't own it, I don't think it would be a bad investment to spend like $100 on it just because it's such a cool issue. And I don't think there's any downside to owning it. Teen Titans Go number 41, the first appearance of Pink X. This one goes for like 20 to 40 bucks. Teen Titans Go number 42. This is the first appearance of all the emoticlones of Raven. Love the cover. I love all the different Ravens that split off into all the different like parts of her emotions. Really cool issue. And like if you collect the Funko Pops and you have all the different Ravens as a Funko Pop, it would be cool to display this issue with those. Teen Titans Go number 44. Another appearance of the Red Raven. This one goes for like $10 to $20. I just thought it was a really fun cover. Teen Titans Go number 51. This is the first appearance of Geoforce. This one was going for like 15 bucks. The newsstand went for $50, so keep an eye out for that newsstand. Teen Titans Go number 55, the final issue to the series. It's worth about 10 to 20 bucks. I gotta sort through my collection. I would love to finish this set. I think I have most of them. I just have to see what I'm missing, but I have nostalgia for this show because I loved watching it 20 years ago, but you know, when I was watching, I was in my mid-20s. So if you were like 8 to 10 years old when this show was on, you're at the ripe age to start kind of collecting this kind of stuff because you're really nostalgic for it. Okay, one of my favorite cartoons from the late 90s, early 2000s was Futurama. Futurama is actually one of the few comic books I got back into in the early 2000s when I started buying comics again. I was still like kind of anti-Marvel and DC, but I love the Futurama cartoons so much I started buying the issues, and in my mind, sometimes I have memories of the comic books that I thought were actually episodes, but they're in the comic books. That's how fun I think they are. They're almost like episodes in comic form, and it's a ton of fun. All right, let's go through some Futurama key issues. Futurama number 1, the first appearance of all the characters pretty much. This issue goes for $50 to $150. The $170 price might have been a little bit high on it, but definitely an issue worth looking out for. And I think it's kind of undervalued, honestly. And then there's also a San Diego Comic-Con version of number 1. This one went for $77 to $150. Number 1, probably easier to find. The regular one, the Comic-Con one, will be a little bit harder, but definitely an issue to look out for if you can find it. Futurama number 2, this one goes for like 15 to 30 bucks. Honestly, if I see a Futurama comic book in a dollar bin, I buy every single one I see, because I think every issue goes for $5 to $10 minimum, with a lot of the higher numbers going for like $10 to $20. Futurama number 3, this one went for like 18 to 30-ish. Futurama number 4, this one was mostly going for like $10 to $20 in value. Futurama number 5, this one is going again for like $10 to $20. So I skipped a whole bunch of issues that are right around the $10 value. Honestly, if you see Futurama for $1 pick it up. They all have value. But number 53 is fun because it has a blacklight poster inside it. It's kind of cool. I think a few other issues have posters around here, but this would look like the one that was going for like 30 to 40 bucks. So definitely keep an eye out for this one. Futurama number 72, really fun Leela cover. This one goes for like 40 bucks. Futurama 78, 79, 80, all these go for $10 to $20. And then the last issue in this series, Futurama number 81, I think this one's kind of hard to find. This one's going for about 40 bucks. Since we're kind of on this nostalgia train, I figured we'll go over a couple of the Cartoon Network key issues that came out about 20 years ago. Some of these actually have a lot of value, and I think they're great comic books to kind of just hold on to, because anyone who grew up watching those cartoons are going to start paying money for them, and I think there's a lot of nostalgia connecting to them, and I love collecting comic books that have nostalgia connected to them. Okay, let's go through this list. Okay, we have Cartoon Network starring the Powerpuff Girls. Number 1, the first appearance of Powerpuff Girls in comics. So this one, I saw a couple like $5 to $20 sales, but I think those are lower grade ones. And then the higher grade ones are going for like $50 to $80. I think this is a very undervalued key issue. We have Cartoon Network starring Johnny Bravo, number 2. This is the first appearance of Johnny Bravo. Again, there was like an $8 sale, but I think that was a lower grade one. The higher grade ones are going for like 50 to 100. Even an 8.5 graded was 100. So I think if you had a 9.8 in this, probably worth hundreds of dollars. Definitely keep an eye out for this comic book. Cartoon Network Block Party number 3, early appearance at Dexter's Lab. This one goes for like 12 to 15 with a newsstand going for 50. Keep an eye out for the newsstands on this kind of stuff. The newsstands are a lot rarer and always worth a lot more. Cartoon Network Action Pack number 2. This is the first appearance of Ben 10 in comic books. This is worth like $50 to $120. Cartoon Network Presents number 1. This is the first appearance of Dexter's Laboratory in comic books. This one only saw 2 sales. One was $7. I believe the $7 one was a little bit lower grade, and then one went for $35. I undervalued, honestly. Any of these key first appearances of the Cartoon Network cartoons, I think there's a lot of future potential in them. The Samurai Jack Cartoon Network Special number 1. This one looks like it went from like 8 to 36. I'm guessing the cheaper ones are probably lower grade. First appearance of Samurai Jack in comics. I love Samurai Jack. This is an issue I would buy 100 copies if I could, because I love Samurai Jack that much. Then we have Puffy, Amy, Yumi number 1. This is the first appearance of them in comic books. It goes for like $20, $25. All right, my friend Sean sold me some comic books last week, and in one of them there was a Marvel, I'm not sure how you say it, with a Greg Horn cover. It had a little foil on it. I was shocked to see that was a $50 comic book. I did not know these had value. I used to pass them up all the time, but I realized most of the series has value now, so I figure we'll go through that series. All right, we have Marvel number 1. The Marvel logo is in like a red foil, so it's kind of hard to get a picture of that. But this one goes for like $40 to $70. I did not realize it was going for that much. I guess the Greg Horn fans are starting to pay up for this series. Number 2, 3, and 4, I think we're all in like the $10 to $20 range. So look out for those. Number 5, on the low end, I saw $7, but I think that was a low grade one. And then the rest were going for like 60 to 70 bucks. I used to see these all the time in dollar bins, and I kind of passed over them. I don't love the cover. It's okay cover. It's a pretty girl, you know, but it's crazy how much these are going for. So definitely keep an eye out for these. I know they're out there. Then we have Marvel number 6. This one goes for like 20 to 40 bucks. And then number 6, the variant. I could only find one that had sold for a best offer under 25. So I'm not sure how below 25 it was. And I don't know how easy it would be to find this issue because it seems like it's kind of rare. But keep an eye out for it. If you do see it, you know, it's at least probably 20 bucks. Honestly, if you see any issue from the series, you want to pick them up. Marvel number 7, the Wheel of Fortune homage. This one goes for like 10-ish to $20. There was a $7 mid-grade one. So even if it's a little bit beat up, it's still like at least $7. Okay, so there's a small series called Over the Garden Wall that I've been picking up out of dollar bins over the years. I did not realize that the first miniseries of 4 issues had value. I was randomly looking for comics of value for this video, and I was like, oh wow, these issues actually have some value. So let's go through that series. Okay, we have Over the Garden Wall number 1. This one goes for like 30 to 100. I think they're going to do a cartoon or a show out of it. So that's why the prices are kind of high right now. I always thought the covers were kind of cute, so I've been picking them up over the years for relatively cheap, honestly. Not issue 1, but like different issues from the different series. Over the Garden Wall number 2, I could only see a couple that sold between 15 and 37. But as you can see, a set of 4 was going for like 120-ish. So it shows that all 4 issues have some value. And then number 4, I saw selling for like $10 to $30. So if you see any of these Over the Garden Wall issues for cheap, pick them up. Okay, this is a single comic book I found. It's the first comic artwork of Jim Lee. It has some value, and it's just such an indie comic book. I would like to find more indie comic books to highlight in these videos. If you guys know of any kind of obscure, weird indie comic book that has a lot of value, let me know in the comments below so I can add it in the next video. Okay, we have Samurai Santa number 1. Cover is like okay, it's not the greatest cover or anything, but this one is going for between 13 on the low end to best offer below 140. So definitely this issue has value. This is one you might be able to find if you see like a collection of indie comic books. I don't know if it's on a lot of people's radar, but it's definitely an issue of value. It's the first Jim Lee artwork in comic books. He didn't do the cover. That's not his cover, but he did something in the interior. Definitely worth looking out for. Okay, so last week's 101 Comics of Value video that I did, I showed one Invincible comic book, and I said I would do the rest this video. There's a lot of value in Invincible. Honestly, my philosophy is if I'm digging a dollar bin, I see an Invincible comic book, I don't care what issue it is, I'm going to grab it. It's worth more than $1. I mean, it's an awesome series. I love the cartoon. I love having them, and they all have value, and you could at least get $5 each for any of them. So if you buy 10 of them, you could probably do a lot of like 10 for 50. But there's also a ton of key issues that are worth 10 to 100 to 200. There's like tons of value in this series. So I figured let's go through the series and highlight all the issues of value. First, we have Invincible number 1, the first appearance of Invincible and a bunch of other characters. This issue, as you can see, $800 up to $1,400. If you could find one that's really high grade that you can grade for 9.8, the sky's the limit for that one. I'm still looking out for a number 1. I really want one. I'm hoping to pick it up cheap one day. But even if I get in a collection that I can pay half price for, I'd be thrilled. And then there's a recent reprint a couple years ago. This one, the logo's in gold foil. It goes for like 15 to 30 bucks. There's also a rare black foil and red foil versions. I think a blue foil as well, which are worth a lot more, but those were very limited, whereas this one would have been easier to get. So you're more likely to find this one, but if you do find the other variants with the different color logos, look out for those, because those are going to have some value. And then there's the Larry's Wonderful World of Comics limited edition reprint. This one goes for like $80 to $130. This is the one I have in my collection right now. Invincible number 2. Again, I think there's a few first appearances in here. This one was going for like $125 to $220. So this one definitely has some value. Invincible number 3, the first appearance of the Flexans. This one was going for like $40 to $100. Invincible number 4. This one looked like it was going for like $40 to $70. Invincible number 5, the first full appearance of Alan the Alien. You might notice I picked this one up last month for 25 bucks at my local comic shop, and it was in good shape. So that felt like a great price, because as you can see, it's going for like $60 to $80. Invincible number 6, first appearance of Black Samson and the Reaniman. This one's going for like 40 to 80 bucks. Invincible number 7, the first appearance of Biplane, first appearance of Kursk, and first team appearance of Death of the Guardians of the Globe. This one was going for like $50 to $70, $80. Invincible number 8, first appearance of Damien Darkblood, first appearance of Amber Bennett, and first appearance of Elephant. This one was going for, oh, let's see, low end 30, as high as 121. I think the lower end ones might have been like a little bit lower grade. Invincible number 9, first team appearance of the Lizard League, first appearance of Shrinking Ray, first appearance of Monster Girl, and first cameo appearance of Bulletproof. This one was going for like 40 to 80 bucks. Invincible number 10, the first appearance of Doc Seismic. And this one went for like 40 to 80 dollars. Invincible number 11, the origin of Omni-Man, which is sort of a big key to the storylines. So this one goes anywhere from like 76 up to best offer just under 215. So it could, if it's in good shape, it could be a $200 issue pretty easily. Invincible number 12, this one goes for low end 20 up to 100. I think the $20 one might have been either low grade or the person just undervalued it when they priced it. Invincible number 13, this one went from between $30 and $75. Invincible 14, a great Frank Cho cover. First full appearance of Bulletproof. First cover appearance of Adam Eve. I love this issue. I'd buy this issue just for the cover. Alright, so this one was a little weird. As you can see, the top 3 I saw were selling from 40 to 80. The bottom 3 was one seller, all signed by Frank Cho. And these all look like it was the same image, so it might have been kind of scammy. I'm not sure. Those are going for like $18 to $40. But if it was actual signature, that was a great price. So I don't know. I'm guessing the price is more in that $40 to $80 range. Invincible number 15, first appearance of the second Aquarius. This one goes for like $16 to $40. Invincible 16, the first appearance of Angstrom Levy. This one goes for 47 up to 100. Invincible 18, the second appearance of a Machine Head. First appearance of Isotope. First appearance of Russ Livingston. And first appearance of the Shapesmith. This one goes for like 20 to 30 bucks. Invincible number 19, first appearance of Battle Beast, first appearance of Magna Attack, first appearance of Mag Maniac, and the first appearance of Tether Tyrant. This one went from $45 to $112, so this one definitely has a value. Invincible number 20, this one is like $16 to $33. Invincible 21, first appearance of the second Nightwing. This one goes for 10 to 40 bucks. Invincible number 33, this one has a cameo appearance of Spider-Man, Batman, Dr. Octopus, the Mad Max universe, and the Walking Dead universe. That's kind of fun, all those crossovers in that issue. So this one goes for 10 to $20. Invincible number 44, first appearance of Anissa. This one goes for 40 to 100 bucks. Invincible number 50, this one goes for like 10 to 30 bucks. And then there's also a second print variant where I only saw one sell for 40 bucks, so this one seems to be a little bit rarer. There's also a fun variant of number 50 that connects with a couple other issues. I couldn't find any sold raw, but I saw a 9.4 go for 160 and a 9.8 go for 300. I'm assuming a raw copy would probably go for at least 100 bucks. So that issue connects to Brit number 7, which goes for like 20 to 50 bucks, which then connects with the Astounding Wolfman number 5, which I could only find one sale that went for best offer under 75. So I think all of those issues have some value. The other non-Invincible issues that connect with them, I bet those are the kind of things you can find in dollar bins because it's probably not on a lot of people's radar. Even though they are variants, they might be a little bit harder to find. Invincible number 57, that one goes for like 15 to 30 bucks. Invincible number 60, this is a part of a fun giant crossover with all the Image universe. So I think they crossed over into all kinds of different issues. Super fun issue. It goes for like $28 to $55, so definitely a comic of value. And then you have the second print of number 60. This one goes for like $60 to $80. This one seems to be a little bit rare. Invincible number 61, the first appearance of Conquest. This one goes from 23 to 70, so it's a little bit of a wide range on that one. Invincible number 63, this one goes for like 10 to 20 bucks. Invincible number 68, the first appearance of Dinosaurus. This one goes for like 10 to $20. Invincible number 110, the controversial issue. This one goes for 90 to 150 bucks. Invincible number 113, first appearance of Tira as a baby, the daughter of Invincible and Adam Eve. This one goes for 10 to $20. Invincible number 115, this one goes for 30 to 40 bucks. Invincible number 132, this one goes for about 15 bucks. Invincible number 139, this one goes for about 10 to $20. And then Invincible 144, the final issue, this one goes for 20 to 40 bucks. There's also a variant to number 144. I think it's a B variant. Not 100% sure. I could only find one that sold for 48, but definitely seems to be a rare issue. And then the final issue I want to show was a really fun Marvel team-up, the Invincible meets Spider-Man. I thought this was super cool. It's issue number 14. This one goes for like 50 to 60 bucks. This is one that probably more likely to find in the dollar bins. All right, that was a ton of fun. If you can think of any comics of value that I've missed in the last month or so, let me know in the comments below so I can add it to the next video. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.